Thank you. Is it Mr. George McCutty?
Yeah.
All right.
George Cutty.
If you just sit there and listen, and I will guide you what we're going to do, okay? And I'll tell you when to speak. So if you just sit there quietly for a moment, so I've got a few things I have to go through. All right.
Yeah.
First of all, I'd like to say that this meeting will be webcast and a record retained on the council website. And for those at home viewing the webcast, I would like to inform you that if you look above the video, you will see a resources tab. Select this and a link to the agenda will appear in the right-hand side, and this will allow you to open the agenda in a PDF format and follow the discussion and debate. My role as chairman is to ensure that the committee runs smoothly, having regards to the procedure, behaviour and ethics. Okay, first of all, Mr. McCutty, we're just going to introduce everybody who's here. We'll start with the licensing officer, Margaret O'Donnell. If you could just say hello, Margaret, please.
Hi, Mark.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Cutty.
Good morning.
We also have Margaret Calvert, who you will know.
Good morning, Mr. George Cutty.
Yeah.
Hi.
We have Ken Abrams, who's the borough solicitor.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
And we have Anne Beecham, who's our committee clerk, who's taking the minutes and what have you. And then we have councillors. They will just raise their hand. We've got Councillor Dave Mitchell, who's on the committee. We've got Councillor Steve Williams.
Morning.
We've got Councillor George Davies.
Morning.
And we have myself, Councillor Andrew Hodson, who is the who I am chairing this meeting today.
Oh,
So, have any of the councillors got any declarations of interest with regards to this item?
No.
Okay.
No.
I think we can move on to then. If there's nothing else, we can move on to Margaret Calvert if you want to explain what we're here for today, please.
Yeah. The purpose of this report is to consider an application to relicense a Citroen Xsara Picasso registration number LG10 LUP beyond the normal overage date for a licensed private hire vehicle.
Yeah.
The criteria for licensing a vehicle is included in the panel report. The proprietor of the vehicle, Mr. George Cutty, has applied to license the vehicle for 6 months. The vehicle has been licensed as a private hire vehicle since the 7th of September 2018, and the licence expired on the 24th of March 2021. The date of first registration of the vehicle is the 24th of March 2010. On expiry of previous licences on the 24th of March 2020 and 24th of September 2020, applications to grant a 6-month licence were considered under delegated authority and the applications were granted. The vehicle has been examined at one of the council's authorised testing stations, and members have now got copies of the pass certificates. They've also got photographs of the vehicle. Thank you.
And this is definitely the Citroen Xsara Picasso LG1.
Yeah.
Yeah, LG10 LUP.
That's
Has
right.
everybody, have all the councillors looked at the photographs?
Yes. Yes.
Has everybody seen the documents related to the certificates?
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Are there any questions with regards to the photographs or the documents that we've seen already?
No.
Right, Mr. George McCutty, if you want to explain to us why you feel we should extend the licence on this taxi for another 6 months. Okay, in your own words. All right.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for putting me in the panel. Actually, for last 2 years, I was supporting my father who was sick and back home in India. So financially, I was supporting him there in India for better treatment, and for better treatment, we had to go to private hospitals. So I was supporting my father, but unfortunately I lost my father in last December. Last year, January, I got a chance to visit him. So I visited him and saw him, then came back on January itself, then lockdown start. So I didn't go to work for 6 months in first lockdown time because my wife is a nurse in Arrow Park Hospital. Then I go to work in this situation. I don't want to risk my family, both our family, into trouble and in front of COVID-19. So I stayed back and my wife's going. Then on-site finance came down. Then when lockdown was taken off, I started working. Then December, my whole family affected COVID-19. So I had post-COVID symptoms, which put me in more trouble, like short breath and body pain. So then from December to February, I didn't go to work as well. So then I start working. So in this time, my financial circumstance went really bad. So that's the reason I request to extend my vehicle license, because I can't afford another car at the moment due to all this situation.
Okay, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
You didn't really decide to issue the license today. This is only for 6 months, and we will have to ask you to come back again after the 6 months. All right, if you wanted to do it again. You'd know that, do you? Right. Yeah. Has anyone got any questions to Mr. McCutty before we ask him to leave for a short while?
No. Good.
Mr. Borough Solicitor got any questions?
Could I just indicate that in relation to the picture at the rear of the vehicle, I think you've got a picture of the boot of the vehicle here.
Yes.
And you've got it looks like a plastic matting, and then on the left-hand side you've got a little cupboard with the cover, which seems to be bent. Is there any reason, or was it just not pushed in properly? Do you know which photograph I'm talking about?
Okay.
I'm just wondering what the reason for that is, or, is that something that is an issue, or going, I don't know, it won't affect the boot space, but I don't know whether you've got any sort of materials in there may leak out or anything.
No, okay, that because the vehicle, some tools pushing it. You mean the inside of the boot, please?
Yeah, the panel on the left-hand side.
It's for the jack, I think, for the jacking.
There's no liquids or fluids or something like.
Yeah, the jack key inside pushing. When I bend, it will push.
Okay.
Out.
Maybe that needs to be. Yeah, it needs to be properly put in line. So there's this.
Okay. Are there any further questions? No.
All right.
No. Could we just ask Mr. Crane to the lobby, please? If you guide him, Kate, if you just tell him what to do, please.
Sorry, can you repeat that again, please? Okay, thank you.
It's so we can talk about you. Hello again, Mr. McCutty. We've had a long discussion about your vehicle, and for two reasons we've decided that one, it hasn't done very much mileage or been used very much over the last period of time when you had it licensed, and two, there's been no advisories on it. So on this occasion, we will let you continue using your car for the next 6 months, as long as you're clear about that. Okay.
Thank you very much for that.
And if you tie in with Margaret, she'll sort you out later on in the day. All right, Margaret.
Sorry, Chair, can I just intercede? I meant to raise this as well. Apologies for this. It's obviously Mr. George McCutty needs to be aware that if he was to bring the vehicle back for a further extension in 6 months, there can be no guarantee that members will take a similar view to the one that members.
I did explain that to Mr. McCutty, Mr. Abrams, before he went off the first time.
Okay.
So he is fully aware of that, aren't you? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. You can go now. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. George, just to inform you, this is being webcast to the public. Okay, I'm just going to introduce everybody who's here today. I'll introduce the councillors who are on the committee first. We have Dave Mitchell, who'll make himself known. We have Councillor Steve Williams.
All right, thank you.
Councillor George Davies.
All right, thank you.
And I'm the chair, Councillor Andrew Hodson. We also have Margaret O'Donnell, who's
Good morning, Mr. George.
who's the licensing officer. We have Margaret Calvert, who I'm sure you'll know already.
Yeah. Morning, Mr. George.
We also have
Right,
Ken Abram, who's the borough solicitor. And we also have on this call Anne Beecham, who's the committee clerk. I will now ask for... There's no declarations of interest on this one, is there? No?
No.
All right, I'll now ask for Margaret Calvert to tell us why we're here today, please.
Okay, the purpose of this report is to consider an application to relicense a Renault Scenic registration number N860PMO beyond the normal overage date for a licensed private hire vehicle. The criteria for licensing private hire vehicles is contained in the report. The proprietor of the vehicle, Mr. George, has applied to license the vehicle for 6 months. The vehicle has been licensed as a private hire vehicle since the 2nd of July 2019, and the licence expired on the 13th of December 2020. The date of first registration of the vehicle is the 13th of December 2010. The vehicle has been examined at one of the council's authorised testing stations, and members have got copies of the past certificates with them today. They have also got photographs of the vehicle. Thank you.
Right, have all the councillors seen the photographs of this vehicle? And they've all seen the documents relating to the test. And we're talking about the Renault Scenic registration NA60PMO. Are there any questions with regards to the photographs or the documents of any of the councillors?
No.
Has the borough solicitor got any questions about those documents?
No.
No. Mr. George, do you want to explain to us in your own words, please, why you believe we should step outside our policy and extend the life of your taxi for another 6 months?
Yeah, because last 4 months I've been to India because I have no money at the moment. My dad and mama's not well. I look after 4 months and come back the last month 15th. No money at the moment. That's it.
So what you're saying is you couldn't afford to change your car?
Yeah, that's it. I have no money at the moment.
How long's your car been off the road for?
Around nearly 2 years.
It hasn't been used?
Yeah.
It hasn't been used for nearly 2 years?
Yeah, I used it 2 years because no money at the should be then after the 6 months after buy the other car.
Okay. Have any of the councillors got any questions of Mr. George? Mr. Abrams, Borough Solicitor, have you got any questions?
Just when you say 2 years, it looks like the mileage from the mileage history documentation. I mean, since July 2019, you've done about 34,000 miles.
Yeah.
So I don't quite understand how it's been off the road. You mean it hasn't been used as a private hire vehicle?
Yeah, because the last 5 months I'm not working.
So you haven't used it for 5 months, not 2 years?
No, yeah.
Can we be clear about that? Are you saying you use it as a vehicle for your family with all the notices and signs taken down, but you have not used it as a private hire vehicle? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I do quite more mileage. My daughter is studying in Leeds every week. That should be the 1 week or twice 2 weeks going to Leeds and come back. That's why more mileage.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Was there any further questions?
Could I just clarify through you, Chair, if you haven't driven it as a private hire vehicle, are you associated with an operator then at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, the operator at the moment.
You're not with an operator?
I'm a taxi driver. Is an operator. On job.
No, I'm trying to clarify. Are you with Argyle Satellites, or are you're not with one at the moment?
The Argyle satellite.
All right. Okay. Right, and the intention is that if members are minded to grant your license for a further period, you would be looking to continue with them as an operator to be a taxi driver or be a private hire vehicle driver. That's your intention, is it?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Just didn't seem to be too clear about that, that's all. All right, thank you, Chair.
Are there any further questions before we send Mr. George into the lobby?
Yeah, nothing, any question. The 6 month, renewal my license because I have no money. That's a question.
Okay, Mr. George, we want you to leave the meeting for a moment. So what we want you Hello, Mr. George. We've had a discussion with regards to your vehicle. You did make comments about you had no money. As a committee, we don't look at that at the commercial point. We're only interested in the safety of the public, so I want to make that clear. Okay? Having said that, your car hasn't been used as a taxi for 5 months, so it's been idle. And also, there's been no advisories on your MOT. So on this occasion, we're going to let you have a further 6 months on the licence, okay?
Thank you.
If after those 6 months you decide to come back and ask, can you have a further 6 months, we would have to review it again. And I'm not saying you might get the same decision. All right?
Thank you.
Okay, you can leave now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Good afternoon. We're here to discuss the application to licence the Toyota CHR Hybrid as a private hire vehicle. I've asked Margaret Calver to explain the request, if you can, please, Margaret.
The purpose of this report is for the panel to consider whether to licence the Toyota CHR Hybrid as a private hire vehicle. The criteria for licensing private hire vehicles is contained in the report, and a copy of the criteria is attached at Appendix 1. The regulatory panel is asked to consider whether the Toyota CHR Hybrid complies with the Council's criteria for licensing private hire vehicles and whether it is a suitable vehicle to be licensed. Video of the vehicle has been provided to members before the meeting. Thank you.
Can I just ask before we go off camera to discuss this item, has all the committee members who are here today viewed the video of the vehicle and seen thoroughly what's on offer?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, can I now suggest then that we go off camera to discuss this item and then we'll come back with our decision. Thank you. Welcome back to the public. If you are watching, I have the committee members here with the officers, and we've just discussed in full detail, as we have before the meeting, following we've just had the report from the officer with regards to the application to license a Toyota C/HR Hybrid as a private hire vehicle, and we've discussed that it does meet all the conditions and criteria of our report. It's designed to carry five people, including the driver, and we have had one of our council inspectors who looked at the vehicle in real life, for want of a better word, and they have told us that it meets all the criteria as well. And we are also pleased the fact that this is a hybrid vehicle and it therefore goes some way into going towards the green issue. So as the committee, I'm pleased to say that we have come to full agreement that we're happy to license this vehicle as a taxi. Thank you. Hello, welcome back to the licensing committee of the 16th of April. I would just like to make clear on the last item, which was regarding the Toyota, I did mention it as a taxi that we'd be licensing it. I just want to make it clear that it will be a private hire. The next two items are now exempt from the public, so we will be stopping the webcast, and thank you for any members of the public who joined us today. Thank you.